We're just gonna start in sitting on our heels today. So knees together, sit all the way back onto those heels. If this bothers your knees, grab a pillow and sit up on a pillow, or just find a comfortable seated position of your choice. And then I want you to place those hands down on the tops of the thighs, rolling the shoulders back, shake down the eyes. Palms down is a little bit more grounding. Flipping those palms to face the sky will help you receive a bit more energy. And then as you close your eyes here and pause for a moment, I want you to think about lengthening through the back of the neck, finding more space, broadening across the chest and the shoulders, letting the jaw become just a little bit more slack, softening the cheeks. Almost like you're getting pulled from the crown of the head to lengthen the spine. Become light through the torso, but then rooting and grounding through your sits bones and the tops of your feet and your shins. Just finding a moment to connect with your breath, come to the space. Remember, this practice is 100% for you. So as we go through, if something doesn't feel quite right, take a moment to pause or make minor adjustments. You can feel free to keep those eyes shut down or open them as you are ready. Take a nice big breath in, and then exhale, draw your chin to your chest. Keep the shoulders rolling back and down. I just want you to breathe into the back of the neck, the cervical spine. Not a lot of tension or pressure, just nice and easy. And then as you inhale, lift the chin up. As you exhale, take the right ear to the right shoulder. So just drawing the ear to the shoulder, lengthening and finding that space on the left side of the neck. Let that left shoulder drop down. Good, and then let's return the chin to the chest, finding more space through the back of the neck. Extend tall through the crown of the head, lifting the chin, left ear to left shoulder. Let that right shoulder drop down. Relax the jaw, soften. Good, let's go ahead and bring the chin back to the chest. Right ear to right shoulder. And then reach that left arm out into space. It's not actually touching down on anything, but with this you should feel a stretch all the way from the side of the left neck, down the shoulder into that middle finger. Let that shoulder drop down a little bit further, relax the muscles of the face, breathe into this whole left side of the neck, especially if you've been spending a lot of time on social media, looking down at your phone, computers. Go ahead and release, draw the chin to the chest, place the left hand on the thigh, draw the left ear to the left shoulder, and then reach that right arm out and away. Drop that right shoulder down, feel a whole stretch down that right side arm, down to the middle finger. Go ahead and draw the chin back to the chest, hands to the thighs, and then lift the chin, extend really, really tall through the crown of the head. As you inhale, reach your arms up really, really high, opening up through the front side body, turn your gaze up, press the palms together. As you exhale, take your hands down to heart center, chin to chest. And again, inhale, reach those arms really high, lengthen through the front side body. Exhale, chin to chest. One more time, big breath, inhale. Exhale, palms pressed, chin to chest. Good. This time, let's rise up to our knees, a high kneel position. Take the hands down by your side as you inhale. Sweep the arms up really, really high. Take your right hand, grab your left wrist, and pull over to the side. You can allow that left hip to drop out to the side if that feels good. And then look under that left armpit, look up to the sky, opening up your chest to the ceiling. So we're just still working that side body. Finding some rotation through the neck. Notice where you can soften into your breath. As you inhale, stretch both hands really high. Maybe press those palms together. Maybe turn your gaze up, keeping those ribs knitted in. As you exhale, left hand grabs the right wrist. Pull that right arm across. Good. Once here, you can let that right hip open out to the side if that feels okay. You can turn your gaze up. Softening the muscles of your face, deepening your breath. Feeling the right side body open all the way down to the knee. Good, as you inhale, Reach up really high, press those palms together. As you exhale, bring the hands down through heart center and place your hands down, finding that tabletop position. Lengthening forward and back, so the crown of the head stretches to the front of your mat and your tailbone reaches back. Your chest shines down and forward as you tip your tailbone up for your cow stretch. Softening the elbows and the muscles of the face. As you exhale, round through the spine, look between the thighs, press the ground away. Good. Inhale, draw the belly down. Glancing upwards, open up across the chest from the collarbone. Spin those inner elbows forward, creating more space through that front side body. Exhale, round everything through. Draw the navel up towards the spine. Press the ground away from you. Big deep breath through the backs of the ribs, the backs of the shoulder blades. One more time. Inhale, glancing upwards. Exhale, cat. Find that neutral spine for me. Go ahead and tuck your toes underneath. Send your hips back towards your heels. Stretch your arms out in front. So just getting a little bit of a stretch through that low back and through the arches of the feet. Keep reaching your fingertips as far forward as you can, and then ground through your palms. Palms stay as they are, but then imagine like you're trying to pull those hands back towards you, drawing the shoulders away from your ears. Good, and then keeping those hands firmly planted about shoulder distance apart. Go ahead and send the knees off of the mat. Lift your hips up really high, downward facing dog. And so I want your feet about hip distance apart or so, or whatever's comfortable for you. As you start to pedal out your feet, finding some length through the backs of the legs. And then maybe you draw your belly towards your thighs, bending your knees a little bit deeper, creating more space in that low back. Releasing the hamstrings just a little bit further. Just continue to pedal out those feet. Shake out your hips. Take a couple big deep breaths. 2 more breaths to your inhale. Exhale. 1 more big deep breath. Tailbone lifts high. Exhale. Go ahead and look forward. Slowly walk your feet to the top. Those knees can be bent as long as necessary. Keeping your feet hip distance apart. Grab opposite hand, opposite elbow, forward fold. Let your belly rest on your thighs if that feels good. Let the crown of the head fall towards your toes. Really releasing that whole posterior chain. So that's the back side of the body, from the ankles through the calves, backs of the knees, hamstrings, glutes, low back, and then even again into that cervical spine. Feel your weight shift forward and back. And then release those fingertips down towards your toes. Send your arms out wide. Interlace your hands behind you. Reach your knuckles up towards the sky, opening up the fronts of the shoulders. Now, if this isn't accessible to you, you can always grab a towel, a t-shirt, a belt, a scarf to hold behind you. Otherwise, if it's available, I want you to press your palms together. Those elbows can be bent. Draw the shoulder blades together. Let the crown of the head fall even heavier. No stress about those knees. In fact, you might find keeping the knees bent feels a little bit better. 1 more big deep breath. As you exhale, release the fingertips down towards the toes. Slowly glide the fingertips up the shins, the knees, across the thighs as you roll all the way up to standing. Take the shoulders up to the ears. Roll them back, palms face forward. Mountain pose, feet hip distance apart. Inhale, send your arms up really, really high. Take your right hand to that left wrist. We did this before, right? Now we're just lengthening more through that whole side body. Big stretch. Maybe turn your gaze underneath that left arm, shining your heart up towards the sky. Good. As you inhale, turn your gaze up, press your palms together. As you exhale, take your left hand to the right wrist and reach over to the side. Maybe turn your gaze underneath that right arm. Good. That nice big side body stretch. Oh, nice to see you all. I had to check on it, and Facebook was a little delayed. All right, let's go ahead and inhale. Send the hands up really high. Energize through the fingertips. And then as you exhale, sit low into your chair pose. Now, we're taking a more stable chair. So feet are going to be hip distance apart. For many of you, you might find this is more stable, more comfortable, rather than when our big toes are together to touch. Still want most of the weight into the arch or the heels of the foot, but I want you to press through the outer edges, lengthen through your backside body, then draw your hands to prayer. Good. On your exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands back. Step your feet back, top of a push-up high plank position. Lengthening through the crown of the head and the backs of the heels. Spin your inner elbows forward. Good. Holding here. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Press the ground away. Chest away from your mat. Exhale. 1 more inhale. Lengthen forward and back. As you exhale, lower down to those knees. Lower the chest down. Hips down, baby cobra. Elbows squeeze the ribs, open up the chest. Exhale, melt the heart back down. Inhale, either baby cobra or full upward facing dog. Shining the heart forward, rolling the shoulders back, lengthening all the way up through the crown of the head. Good, lower heart all the way back down. Tuck those toes underneath, press into high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. So we're just forcing a little bit more upper body to work by pressing from your upward dog into your high plank position. Go ahead and look forward, slowly tiptoe or step your feet all the way up to the top of your mat. Keep your feet hip distance apart. As you inhale, find a half lift position. As you exhale, fold. As you inhale, send your arms out wide, lengthen all the way up. As you exhale, stable chair, feet hip distance. Arms, biceps by your ears. Good, let's draw our hands together through heart center. I want you to shift your weight over to that right leg. Lifting that left foot just barely off of the mat, maybe you're on your tippy toes. Being mindful that right hip isn't shooting out to the side. And then when you're ready, lift the left foot off of the mat. Slowly extend your right leg. And as carefully as you can, prepare to step that left foot all the way back into your crescent lunge position. Good. As you inhale, stretch your arms up really high. Crescent lunge. Draw the shoulders down. Pausing here for a big deep breath. As you exhale, spin that left heel down. Open up to warrior 2. Stretching forward and back. Reach that right knee towards your right pinky toe. Pressing through the outer edge of the left foot. Softening the shoulders. And then let's go ahead and straighten that right leg. Inhale. As you exhale, send your right hand forward, 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 and down. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Turn your gaze up, softening those shoulders down. Now, if you need to, you could always place your hand on some sort of prop. If you have blocks, that's great. You can also place your hand gently on your shin. You can take your hand to the inside of the shin or fingertips inside of that right foot. Wherever you are, I want you to think about lengthening through your waist. That right waist is further away from the thigh. Good. Now keeping these long arms out wide, draw your left shoulder down, pivot onto the left ball of the foot. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, I want you to launch off of that back foot, finding your airplane pose or warrior 3 pose. Strong through that back leg, opening up through the chest, reaching the arms out really wide. And then just as lightly as we transitioned into this pose, soften that right knee, left foot goes down, hands frame the foot, step the right foot back, downward facing dog. Good, just playing with transitions, playing with control, slowing things down and lots of balance. Plugging through the hands firmly, reaching the tailbone really high. On your inhale, glide into high plank position, shoulders stack over your wrists. On your exhale, lower down to low plank. Listen carefully. Feel free to lower to those knees. Inhale, press the high plank. Exhale, glide through. Bend those knees. Pull the hips back. Downward dog. Good. And let's do that again. Inhale, rolling into high plank. Feel free to lower to those knees as you exhale, low plank. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, pull those hips back, rolling it back to downward dog. Beautiful job. Shaking out those hips, 1 deep breath. Exhale it out. Look forward. Slowly step walk, or maybe you're ready to hop your feet between your hands. Feet stay hip distance apart here. Inhale, half lift, flat back position. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms stretch wide, reach all the way up to the sky, palms press. Exhale, chair pose. Stable chair again. So that'll be the theme for the day. We're going to keep our knees and feet hip distance apart. Draw the shoulder blades down the spine as the hands come to heart center. Good. Drawing the navel in towards the spine. Your weight is still in your feet. Shoulders roll back. Shifting over to the left side. Making sure that left hip isn't completely shooting off to the left side of your mat. Let's come to the right tippy toes. When you're ready, lift that right knee. Extend that left leg as you slowly and carefully take that right foot back to your crescent lunge. Once in your crescent lunge position, extend your arms up. And then exhale, sink a little lower. Find some depth here, softening the shoulders down away from your ears, shining your heart forward. Really connecting with your breath, plugging through your feet. Let's blossom open to warrior two, spinning that right heel down. Arms reach wide, left knee reaches towards the left pinky toe, giving some space for the hips. Good. Pausing here for just one more breath. Inhale. Exhale. On your inhale, straighten the left leg. Take the left fingertips forward and down. Triangle pose. Trikonasana. Right hand reaches up. So remember your variations. You can take the hand to the shin if that feels okay. You can take the hand inside of the shin or all the way down inside of that left foot. Arms reach all the way up. Bring your gaze to that right hand if that's okay, or forward or all the way down. Trying to draw that right hip open a tad bit more. Good. And then keeping these long, strong arms, draw that right shoulder down, spin off of that right heel, and come to that low lunge position, crescent lunge position. When you're ready, launch off of that back foot. Warrior three variation. Send that right heel back, draw that right hip down, find the control. And then very, very softly soften the left knee. Right toes go down, hands go down, left foot steps back, downward facing dog. Good. One big inhale reaches your tailbone high, plugs through the hands. Exhale, heels sink a little bit lower. Inhale, glides you to high plank. Feel free to lower to those knees. Exhale gets you to low plank. Inhale presses you to high plank. Exhale, bends your knees, pulls those hips back, guiding you through the downward dog. Good. So being playful and moving through the spine a little bit more in that flow forward and back into your downward facing dog. Good. Your inhale glides you back into your high plank. Shoulders stack over the wrist for a moment. Then your shoulders go over the fingertips. Elbows hug the ribs. Low plank. Inhale presses you to high plank. Now as you exhale, bend your knees. Bring your chest to your thighs. Reach your hips back like you're getting pulled. And then lengthen the legs. You're going to find you're going to gain a lot of length through the backs of the spine. And that whole posterior chain, that's your backside body. Good. Take a nice big deep breath. Exhale it out. Good. On your inhale, you have that option to step slowly, or just like we glide back, you can bend your knees, look forward, and gently hop your feet between your hands. Right? Lots of core strength there. Inhale, half lift. Keep your feet hip distance. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stretch those arms all the way up high. And exhale, sink into your chair. Good. So in this chair pose, I want you to think about fingertips to your tailbone in one nice long line. Your biceps are by your ears. Your feet are hip distance apart, giving you a really strong base. Draw the shoulder blades down. Draw the hands together to your heart center. Good. We've been here before. We know what's up. Shift your weight into that right side. Good. Lift that left foot up. Maybe you extend through that right leg as you carefully step that left foot back. Crescent lunge. Inhale. Lift the chest. Exhale, blossom open, warrior two. This time, inhale, reverse your warrior. Reach your right arm up high. Reach that right knee towards your right pinky toe. Good. Go ahead and open up those arms. Straighten the right leg. Reach the right fingertips forward and down. Triangle pose, Trikonasana. Extending like you're trying to reach for something up on the ceiling while that right arm is stretching down and the spine is lengthening forward. If you want a harder option, your left arm reaches by your left bicep. Even harder, right hand stretches forward. Get lots of strength happening through the core. Make sure that you're rolling open. Good. And then let's go ahead and spread those arms out wide if you found that variation. Draw the shoulder down, gazing towards the right toes, pivoting off of that back foot. Launch off into your warrior three variation. Find your center, find your core. Maybe stretch the fingertips forward. Very lightly plant the left toes back, bend the right knee. Hands go down. Right foot steps back, downward dog. Pedaling out your feet. Good job, guys. Take a nice big deep breath for me. Exhale. Inhale, glide into your high plank. Remember your options to lower down to those knees. Go ahead and glide the shoulders forward. Low plank. Hug the ribs to the elbows. Press the high plank. Good. Now gliding through to your down dog. Bend your knees. Chest to the thighs. Reach your tailbone up. Straighten the legs. Good. You should feel like this nice little wavy movement through the spine. Go ahead and inhale to high plank. Exhale, low plank. Plug through those hands. Press, press, press. High plank. Good. Bend the knees. Chest to thighs. Glide the hips up. Lengthen the legs. Pedaling out those feet. Go ahead and look forward. Step walk, or just like we glide back, bend the knees. Look between the hands. Float. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stretch all the way on up. Exhale, chair. Stable chair again. Feet hip distance apart, draw the shoulder blades down. Wiggle around those toes, navel draws towards the spine. Good. Let's draw the hands down through heart center. Relax the shoulders, press through the palms. Let's shift that weight over to that left leg. Reaching that right foot off of the mat, maybe lengthening that right leg just a bit. Counterbalance, chest forward, right leg back. Light as you can. Right toes go down. Chest rises, arms rise. Good. Finding that crescent lunge position, relax the shoulders. On your exhale, blossom open, warrior two. Good. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Relax your right shoulder, stretch that left arm up. Big opening up through that left side body. Inhale, come back to warrior two. Straighten the left leg. Stretch forward, right hip goes back. Triangle pose. Good. Creating waist space. Lengthening through the spine. Maybe your right arm stretches forward. Only choose these options if your core feels strong. Maybe your left arm reaches. Making sure that right shoulder isn't dropping. You're staying open through the body. Good. Let's all spread those arms back out wide again. Turn your gaze down. Draw the shoulders down and wide. Pivoting off of that back foot. And then control as you launch off of the back foot. Your warrior three variation. Maybe you send those fingertips forward, creating a long line through your fingertips and through the back foot. Softly bend the left leg, right toes go down. Hands go down, left foot goes back, downward dog. Big inhale, stretch the tailbone high. Big exhale, let it go. Good. Inhale, glide to high plank, rounding through the spine like your cat back position. Exhale, low plank. High plank, inhale. Bend those knees, chest to thighs, tailbone lifts, heels lower. Good. One more time. Inhale, glide into high plank, really rolling and moving through the spine. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press. Exhale, bend. Hips lift, lift, lift. Downward dog. Beautiful job, guys. Wiggling out the hips, shaking it side to side. Look forward, step walk, or float. We'll set this time. Feel free to bend those knees as long as you need to get to the top of your mat. Feet stay hip distance apart. Forward fold. Inhale, let's glide all the way on up, reaching the fingertips to the sky. Exhale, draw the hands to heart center. Beautiful work. Let's do that one more time. As you inhale, reach up. As you exhale, sink low. Shifting all of your weight into that right foot, drawing the hands to prayer. Carefully launch that left foot back. Toes plant down, inhale, rise, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two, blossom open. Right knee towards the right pinky toe. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, as that right leg extends, the arm stretch wide. Reach the right hand forward, left hip back. Triangle pose. Take your variations if you're ready for it, if you feel that strength and you want to build more heat through the core. And then maybe you keep your arms as they are. As you pivot those hips down, launch into that warrior three. Maybe your arms are still out wide. Maybe it wasn't very graceful and you fell. That's okay. Please accept where you are, have fun with it. Good, listen very, very carefully. I want you to draw your left knee towards your nose. Hollow it out. Finding that balance. Launching back. Almost like you're lifting your chest in your upward dog. Plant the left toes down. Hands down, right foot back, downward dog. Big deep breath as you inhale, gliding into your high plank, rolling through the spine. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, high plank. Let's roll it through. Bend those knees. Tip the tailbone up. Chest to thighs. Hips up high. Heels down low. Good, and again. Inhale, rolling into high plank. Finding your spine. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, bend the knees. Let them lower towards the mat. Lift the hips up, 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 up. Lengthen. Good. Let's look forward. This is your opportunity to step walk or float your feet between your hands. Feet are hip distance apart. Inhale, half. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, stretching all the way up, up, up. Exhale, chair. Good. Legs should feel strong and engaged. Belly's drawn in, shoulder blades draw down the spine. Let's draw our hands to prayer. Good, we know what's up. Let's shift our weight to that left leg. Let's peel that right foot off of the mat as you carefully launch it all the way back with as much control and grace as possible. Inhale, rise. And it might not be graceful, that's fine. Exhale, blossom open, warrior two. Strong, deeper into those legs if you can. Inhale, reverse your warrior. As you exhale, arms spread wide, left leg straightens. Reach forward, 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 and down. Right hip reaches back. Maybe you take those arm variations, right hand forward, maybe left hand forward. Lengthening, strong through your obliques. Belly is drawn in towards the spine. Let's go ahead and draw the chest down, square towards the mat. Launch off to your warrior three. Maybe your fingertips stretch forward. Maybe they're still out wide. Finding some balance and some core. Go ahead and draw the right knee towards the nose. Hollow it out. Like some crazy creature, right? Really finding that weird position. Send that right leg all the way back. Hands go down. Left foot steps back, downward dog. Good, on your inhale, you glide to high plank position, strong through your core. Nice job, guys. On your exhale, low plank. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, bend your knees. Glide back. And we'll keep that movement going. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, low plank. Remember, all of this can be done on your knees. Inhale, high plank. I'm doing it on my knees this time. Exhale, hips back towards those heels. Lift up, heels down. Amazing job. Take a nice big deep breath. And exhale. Look forward, step walk, or float your feet between your hands. Keeping those feet hip distance apart. Padangusthasana. So we're going to take our big two-piece fingers and grab in between the big toe and that second toe. Good. And I find bending your knees feels a lot more comfortable here. I want you to pull the chest towards the thighs, blow those elbows out to the side, and let the crown of the head go. You might even feel the belly resting on your thighs completely. And then don't hesitate to really pull those elbows out to give you more leverage. See where you can let go a bit more into the back of the neck, the cervical spine. Crown of the head stretching down. Find a little bit more leverage. Maybe you shift slightly forward. Let's gently release the hands down. Let's slowly walk those feet back into your high plank position. And as you exhale, I want you to lower all the way down to your belly. Once here, let's zip those thighs together. Stretch your arms all the way forward. So in this position, I want you tensing your fingers, lengthening the crown of the head towards the top of your mat. Good, then pressing those hands down, preparing for a variation of our locust pose. Go ahead and inhale. Keep the hands down, just lift the legs, lift the chest. Good, now I want you to imagine like you're pulling the ground back towards you to open up your chest and collarbone. Plugging those shoulders down into the back. Exhale, melt the heart back down. Good. This next one on our inhale, arms and legs lift. Biceps stay close to the ears. Inhale, rise. Like you're trying to soar away. Plug those shoulder blades down the spine while stretching your fingers forward. Lift the heels even higher. Exhale, melt. You can take those arms beneath the shoulders. You can turn one ear to the mat, or you can take those hands, stack them, forehead on the palms. Gently release. So this next one is going to build a little bit more strength through the back of the neck. So we are going to create a little bit of pressure. I want you to interlace your hands, and then it's going to go right at the nape of your neck. Right, so the elbows are going to go wide, and then you're going to keep those elbows reaching out wide as you inhale into our locust pose. You should feel a lot of pressure through the back of the neck and that low back. The legs are lifted, the hands are pressed into the back of the neck, and the head is pressing into those hands, creating that force, building some strength. One more big deep breath. Exhale, melt back down. Take that opposite ear to the mat or forehead on the hands. Feel your heart rate rise. Feel your belly pressing into the mat with every inhale and exhale. And then let's slide those hands beneath the shoulders. Let's go ahead and send the hips back towards the heels, tuck your toes underneath, and then lift those hips downward facing dog. Just take a moment, feeling that opening up through the front of the chest and the strength through the back from those positions. And then let's lift those heels up really high, lower the knees down for me. Good. Untuck those toes, go ahead and rise on up to a kneeling position. And then let's sit back onto those heels, kind of like how we started. Good. Roll those shoulders back and down, lengthening through the spine, opening up through that front side body. So let's inhale, reach the arms up high. And then as you exhale, I want you to find eagle arms, that right arm underneath the left. If you've never done this before, this might feel tough for you. If you have tops of hands to hand, that's great. If you can flip and completely rotate palms to palms, that's fantastic. Reach the hips back towards the heels again. And then maybe you choose to floss those shoulders, stretching the fingers, lifting the elbows, lowering down. Opening up through the backs of the shoulders, the upper back. And then hold those elbows high. Find your focus. Find something in between those hands to focus on as you rise up to a high kneeling position. Good. From here, I want you to step your left foot forward, kneeling leg. We're going to transition to our full eagle position. As you root through that right foot, strong through the heel, lift that right leg up and cross it over. Poking that right foot behind the left ankle if available, or just kickstanding it right here. So you choose. Lifting those elbows really, really high, opening up that whole backside body. Should feel a lot of tension or stretching opening up through the backs of the shoulders, that upper back. Good. Let's go ahead and gently release that right leg. In the same way we got up, we're going to get down with that right knee down. Step that left leg back, hips to the heels, and release the arms. Maybe shut down the eyes, palms to the thighs. Rolling the shoulders back and down. Big breaths. Good, we have that other side. So on your inhale, stretch the arms up high. On your exhale, those arms open up to your goalpost arms, and that left arm comes underneath the right this time. Good. Once here, lift those arms up high. Maybe palms to palms. Maybe you choose to floss by reaching the fingertips up and down. Good, and then lift those fingers really high, big breaths. Find your point of focus. Find your core and center as you rise to your high kneel position. From here, shift your weight into that left knee as you step your right foot forward with control. Good, and then powering through that right leg to lift that left leg all the way up and over. Eagle on the other side. So we're completely twisting and rinsing through that front side body here. Might feel really uncomfortable. I want you to wrap those inner thighs together like you really have to go to the bathroom. Lift those elbows a little bit higher up. Sink a little bit lower into the right leg. Good, and then the same way we got in, we get out, relax that left foot, step it all the way back, kneeling lunge. Right foot steps back. Sit back onto our heels, release the hands down. Soften down the eyes. Palms are resting on the thighs. Roll the shoulders all the way back, all the way down. Take one more moment to breathe, filling the belly up, feeling the ribs expand. And then exhaling down. Alright guys, so we're going to transition into our dolphin pose. This is just kind of like your warm-up for our headstand. And before we do work too much into headstand, I just want to make a really, really important point that this progression that we build up is incredibly important. And even though it's called headstand, I would say about 70 to 80% of the weight comes from your forearms. So actually being able to lift your head off of the mat at all times. And that's really, really important to think about as we transition through. So building up first, I like to start with grabbing opposite elbows, right? So you're kind of in this genie position. And this is going to make sure that you're stable. That foundation before you go into the practice is really, really important. So you want your elbows beneath your shoulders. Good. From here, you can lower those elbows down, and then you can interlace your hands. So you want to make sure that your elbows don't flare out to the side. That's really important. And then while you might be tempted to cradle your head into your hands, and I know we're not going into headstand yet, I just want you to be thinking about this. I want you to avoid cradling your head in your hands and instead pressing firmly into the forearms. Good, so your elbows are out to shoulder distance apart, pressing into those forearms. Go ahead and tuck your toes, send your hips up high. This is our dolphin pose. This is like our downward dog, but on our forearms. Good, lift your tailbone even higher. Strong through those arms, like you're trying to press your forearms away from the mat. Good. And then glide those elbows in, and then step your toes up an inch. The crown of your head rests gently onto the mat. And then I want you to lift the crown of the head off of the mat, pressing into those forearms. Draw your navel in towards your spine, your tailbone up really, really high, heels down low. Good. Go ahead and lower the crown of the head towards the mat if it's not touching already. And then walk those toes in an inch. This is going to start to feel really, really challenging. Press into those forearms. Head is off of the mat. Crown of the head is off of the mat. Here, lift, 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 lift. Big breaths. Arms are doing all of the work here. Good. And then go ahead and release. Maybe that crown of the head is resting down as you draw those toes in another inch. This should feel hard. Go ahead and press into those forearms. Get the crown of the head off of the mat. Breathing in for 1. Exhale. Another big deep breath in. Exhale, crown of the head lowers down. Last one, take your toes in an inch. Tailbone lifts really high. Press into those forearms. This is going to feel really tough. If you need to bend your knees here, that's fine. But the crown of the head is off of the mat, strong through the shoulders. One more breath. And exhale. Go ahead and lower those knees down. Sit your hips back onto those heels. Roll the shoulders back and down. Relax the arms. Good. That should have felt like an enormous amount of work through the arms. Should have felt a lot of pressure through those forearms. Yeah? Okay. Good. So if that felt like a challenge for you, being in that forearm dolphin position, then I want you to practice that. I want you to stay in that position, working on slowly inching those toes up. Okay? If you are ready to play with a headstand, we're going to get into that same position. So grab opposite elbow, lower the elbows down, and then interlace your hands, pressing firmly into the forearms. So we're kind of in this child's pose-like position. I'm going to tuck my toes, then I'm going to lift my hips back up high like I'm going into dolphin, and then lower the crown of the head down. Now remember, I'm not cradling that head at all. I'm pressing into those forearms, and then I'm going to take my knees in towards my chest. From here, I might lift one foot off of the mat, coming onto the tippy toes of the left foot, and then I might switch. Now, if at any point you feel like you're feeling more pressure into your elbow or head than the elbows, keep pressing down into those forearms. Maybe you're ready to lift both knees off of, or both toes off of the mat, pressing firmly into those forearms. A tucked position is going to feel a lot safer. Maybe you extend one leg. Maybe you extend both legs. Give you just a little bit of time to play. And I know this one might feel very daunting or very challenging for some of you. But remember, at any point through your headstand practice, you should be able to lift the crown of your head off of your mat. Right? You should be able to slide a piece of paper underneath. That allows you to take weight off of the cervical spine and focus on strengthening through those arms. Those shoulders in yoga are going to be so vitally important, pressing firmly into those elbows and the forearms. Wherever you may be. And remember, the wall might be a safe place for you, so that if you fall back, you have something to fall back on, so you can gently lower yourself back down. And then let's all slowly lower back down and come to the kneeling position. Sit onto your heels. Remember, if this doesn't feel comfortable for your knees, then just find another comfortable seated position. Roll the shoulders back and down a couple of times. So let's take the right hand down by the right wrist, or right hips. Stretch that left arm up and over. Maybe shine your heart up. Turn your gaze underneath that left arm. Good. Go ahead and lower the left hand down to the left hip. Reach that right arm up and over. Shine your heart upwards. Good, and then go ahead and lower down. We did a lot of closed positions, so just for a moment, we're going to open up through the hips. Take your fingertips back. Roll the shoulders open, so the tops of the hands are facing the back of your mat. And then I want you to lift your hips up. You might not lift very far, that's fine here. This isn't quite camel pose. We're just opening up the front of the hips. Your chin can stay tucked, or you can lift your gaze backwards. Opening up the fronts of the shoulders, the fronts of the hips, the fronts of the thighs. Big breath in. And then slowly exhale. Reach those hips towards the heels. Take the hands forward. Tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. A moment to pedal out through the arms. You should feel lots of strength through the arms. You should feel a lot of heat building up there. Maybe a bit of fatigue. On your inhale, I want you to reach your right leg high, three-legged down dog. On your exhale, take your right knee behind your right wrist. Send your left leg back for a half pigeon pose. Walk the hands back to lift the chest. On your exhale, sink the hips. You might choose to stay here. You might choose to walk those hands out to melt your chest onto your thighs. Maybe you rest your forehead on your hands. Now, if this is uncomfortable for anyone, for hips or knees, then I want you to take a seated position with your left leg stretched out in front. Your right leg comes across. You hug that right knee towards your left shoulder. You're still getting that same hip opener as you would in your half pigeon pose, finding more rotation through the spine. For those of you in your half pigeon pose, walk the hands back towards your hips, lift the chest. Tuck your left toes underneath. Maybe send your right leg all the way up for three-legged dog, or return into your downward dog, your choice. Any movements that feel good. This is where I want you to be playful with your practice. Listen to your body. What does it need or what is it craving? On your next inhale, the left leg will rise. On your exhale, the left knee comes behind the left wrist. Half pigeon on the other side. Walk that right leg back. Lift the chest by walking your hands back. And then exhale, everything sinks down. Maybe the chest and torso lowers down to the mat. If you are extended forward, I want you to maybe choose to draw your chin to your chest. Once again, releasing the back of the neck, finding more length. Remember that alternative option for those of you that aren't moving into your half pigeon. Your left leg comes across your right arm, hugs the left leg, and you rotate back. For those of you taking that seated position, you can go ahead and gently release taking that seat. For those of you in your half pigeon, send that left leg maybe all the way on up for your three-legged dog. Maybe shaking it out in any way, shape, or form. Meeting in your downward dog for just a beat. As you slowly walk your feet all the way through between the hands, taking a seat, meeting the other team if they're seated. And then let's bend our knees, take our heels towards our glutes, flip the palms, and as slow as you can, rolling down one vertebra at a time. Finding that control through your core, finding each and every vertebrae, finding that core muscle. As you draw your knees in towards your chest, take your knees wide, grab your outer edges of your feet, happy baby pose. Rocking side to side if that feels okay. Pulling those knees towards the armpits or the shoulders. And we'll gently bring the feet and knees together. Send those arms out wide, palms down. Let your knees lower to the right. Turn your gaze to the left. Spinal twist. Softening those shoulders down, away from your ears. Feel the weight of the upper body and the knees shifting to the right, finding that length through the spine and that twist, the massaging of the internal organs, and that breath powering through. And then slowly inhale, draw the knees up through the middle, and let them fall gently to the left as you gaze to the right. Push your face down on my chin, in your heart, you have my back, and I'm on sight, and I'm on sight, 'cause I'm your broken up. No matter how you and we'll slowly draw the knees back into the chest. Wrap your forearms around your shins. Take your forehead to your knees and squeeze into a really tight ball. Taking a massive inhale, giving yourself this big loving hug. As you exhale, melt into your Shavasana, extending your legs long down your mat. Let the toes flap out to the side as you glide the shoulder blades down towards the heels. Open up the chest, palms face up. And as you settle into your Shavasana, take a moment to breathe. Find the space where you're still holding some tension. And if for any reason this Shavasana position doesn't suit you, you can bend your knees. You can also come to a seated meditation. I invite you to shut down the eyelids. Taking away one of our senses, forcing you to observe something different. What do you hear? What do you feel? Maybe you feel some cold air on the arches of your feet. Maybe some heat from the center of the body. You just notice your chest rising and falling with each and every breath. Let the jaw fall a little bit heavier. Relaxing the tongue from the roof of the mouth. Letting your forehead soften. Even the eyeballs. Continue that same pattern of softening across your chest. Through the palms. Fingertips, hips, feel the thighs and the muscles soften from the bones. The backside body heavy on the mats. The front side body light as you take another big deep breath. Filling up the lungs, filling up the chest. Let that breath reach the extremities. As you exhale, feel everything become just a tad bit heavier on the mat. Feeling that opposition with your breath on your inhale, feel light. Feel weightless. Feel ease. As you exhale, let everything go. Letting go of any extra tension you're holding on to, emotion, negative energy. Let it fall deep into your mat, deep into the earth. One more time, inhale, bring in that lightness, that softness. As you exhale, let everything go down through the mat, through the earth. Let it settle there, away from the body. Coming up renewed. On your next inhale, reach your fingertips to the back of the mat, stretch your toes to the front. Create this beautiful, nice long line in the body, opening up through the spine, through the belly, the ribs, the chest. Maybe you point your toes, stretching them towards the ground, and then draw the knees in towards your chest. Keeping one arm raised up above the head as you roll over to that side, rest your head on your arm as a pillow. The knees are stacked, the hips, the ankles, finding this beautiful and supportive fetal position. Again, taking a moment to pause. This gift from me to you to slow down, to appreciate your transitions, to really observe where you are, right in this very moment. And take your time to slowly push yourself up to a comfortable seat, meeting me on your mats, with your palms together to your heart center. Finding your sits bones, letting each and every vertebrae stack on top of one another. That torso becomes light, weightless, effortless. The hips open, those knees soften down. The shoulders soften down, broad chest. Feeling that length through the back of the neck, the cervical spine, as you draw your chin to your chest, bowing down with gratitude. Gratitude for all things, for the practice, for the body, for the breath, for our ability to share this beautiful practice even from afar. Take a moment once again to observe, where is your breath? Where can you soften? Where are you feeling the lightness? And then we'll lift our chin, we'll lift our thumbs to our forehead, our third eye center, our seat of enlightenment, with so much gratitude from my heart to yours. Thank you for sharing my passion with you and joining me this morning. Happy Mother's Day to all of you mothers out there. Namaste.